The mistakes CEOs don't want you to know. Back in 2007, the most powerful CEOs in the world felt, well, pretty much unstoppable. Markets were rising, credit was cheap, growth looked, permanent. Then, suddenly, the global financial system just collapsed. Here's the uncomfortable truth. It wasn't a lack of intelligence that caused it. It was, honestly, overconfidence. Most people won't comment. If this surprised you, type what shocked you the most. Like it so this story doesn't die here. Subscribe, because trust me, the next one will hit even harder. The highest levels of power, success creates an illusion of control. When everything is working, leaders start believing they understand the system completely. They believe they can manage risk, predict markets, and outmaneuver competitors. But global systems are super complex. Finance connects to geopolitics. Geopolitics connects to supply chains. Supply chains connect to consumer behavior. One shock moves everything. The first mistake CEOs rarely admit is this. They confuse momentum with mastery. When a company grows for years, leaders assume they are making perfect decisions. But sometimes they are simply riding a favorable environment. And when the environment changes, reality arrives suddenly. The real danger is not ignorance. It's believing you cannot be wrong. Now imagine being a CEO of a billion-dollar company. Every meeting is structured. Every presentation is filtered. Every conversation is careful. Here's the twist. The higher someone rises in power, the less honest feedback they receive. Inside corporations, bad news often travels slowly. Employees hesitate to challenge authority. Middle managers soften problems before reporting them upward. By the time information reaches the CEO, it is sanitized. Warnings about risk, reduced. Concerns about strategy, framed gently. Cultural issues, delayed. This creates an echo chamber. Psychologists call it confirmation bias. Leaders begin hearing only what aligns with their beliefs. If growth is strong, every signal looks positive. If a strategy worked once, it feels safe to repeat. But markets evolve faster than internal culture. Disruption rarely appears dramatic at first. It looks small, unimportant, temporary. Many CEOs ignore early threats because they do not fit the current narrative of success. And by the time the threat becomes obvious, competitors are already ahead. The second mistake CEOs don't want you to notice is this. They often hear the truth too late. Public companies operate under relentless pressure. Every 90 days, earnings reports are released. Every quarter, performance is judged. Every forecast must show progress. This creates a powerful incentive. Prioritize short-term growth over long-term stability. Some leaders cut essential investments to boost temporary profit. Some take on dangerous levels of debt to finance expansion. Some acquire companies for headlines instead of strategy. On paper, the numbers look impressive. Stock prices rise, investors celebrate, bonuses increase. But beneath the surface, risk accumulates. When growth becomes an addiction, caution feels like weakness. Slowing down feels like failure. The third mistake is subtle but destructive, confusing expansion with strength. Sometimes, the strongest move a company can make is restraint. But restraint rarely excites markets. And so, risk builds quietly, quarter after quarter. All CEOs fail. Some recognize these traps early. They invite disagreement. They reward honesty. They invest for 10 years, not just 10 weeks. The most resilient companies share one trait. Leaders who design systems that challenge them. Independent boards. Transparent data. Cultures where questioning is safe. They understand something fundamental about power. The higher you rise, the more intentional you must be about hearing uncomfortable truths. The lesson is not that CEOs are incompetent. Many are extraordinarily capable. The lesson is that power distorts perception. Success narrows perspective. Growth creates blind spots. And honestly, the greatest risk is believing you are immune to those blind spots. Most people won't comment. If this surprised you, type what shocked you the most. Like it so this story doesn't die here. Subscribe, because the next one will hit even harder. So here is the final question. If even the world's most powerful leaders can fall into these traps, what blind spots might exist in your own decisions? Because the mistakes CEOs don't want you to know about are not just corporate mistakes. They are human mistakes. And recognizing them early might be the most powerful advantage of all.